Hello, everyone. My name is Tom Wilson, and I'm here with Adapt Productions. And our show today is about our parent organization, Adapt, which is a disability rights organization that was founded here in Chicago over 45 years ago. And today, my guests are Curtis Harris and Kevin McPhan. And we're going to talk a little bit about the history of ADAPT, but more importantly, the protests that ADAPT has recently taken up to fight the Medicaid cuts that the Trump administration is trying to implement. Curtis, could you tell us a little bit about when you joined ADAPT and what you've accomplished in ADAPT?
I first joined ADAPT in 2007.
Okay. And what did you do at first?
I started going to meetings and writing emails.
Okay.
And contributing to the Chicago ADAPT blog on Yahoo.
Okay.
In the earlier days.
I know ADAPT sometimes does civil disobedience. Did it take you a while to get comfortable with that, Curtis?
It took me 4 years.
4 years. Because you didn't think it was good to get arrested when you started?
I did at first. But I didn't know how to execute it with someone feeling scared because I lived with my father at the time.
Okay, so there's family issues involved.
Yes.
Okay, and have you been arrested since?
I've been arrested 4 out of 6 with National ADAPT.
Okay, and those demonstrations are where? In Washington and other places?
In Washington, I got arrested with the Alliance with several ADAPT members in 2015 at Governor Bruce Rauner's condo.
And what were you protesting?
Medicaid cuts that Rauner made.
Okay. And Kevin, what year did you start with ADAPT?
I started with ADAPT in 2006. 2006, yes.
And what were some of your first actions?
Well, our first action was at City Hall. I remember that clearly with our tough ass. City Hall, we protested about fair housing.
Okay.
And community choice fair housing.
Okay. What is tough ass? I think people aren't going to know. It's a task force.
Task force
for attendant services.
Attendant services, yes.
So the idea is that Medicaid funds home care and attendant services, right?
Yes, I was introduced to that in 2006. Then, at the same time, that same month, I was introduced to ADAPT, so I've been adapting for many years now.
And you use home services, right?
Oh, yes, I do. My home service and Medicaid, it matters to me a lot.
Yes, Medicaid prepays for
not just me, there's a lot of others, you know. Without our Medicare and Medicaid, we will perish.
We will perish, yeah.
Yes.
Now, do you remember the first time you got arrested?
Yeah, actually, I got arrested in 2008 in the Hart Building in D.C., Washington, D.C.
And the Hart is a Senate office building, right?
Yes, that was the office for the Senate, yeah. Oh, that was a great action that day.
And what were you protesting then, Medicaid?
We were protesting, matter of fact, we were protesting Medicaid and fair housing.
And fair housing, yeah.
Yes.
That's important because SSI pays a little. You really need affordable housing, and you need affordable health care, right?
Yes. Also, with the affordable housing need to be accessible to those that's in the disabled community.
Now, sometimes you use a scooter, right?
Correct.
Okay. So accessibility really matters.
It really matters a lot of time. I remember I moved into a building one time. They had a ramp, but then they had no accessible doors.
No accessible doors.
And now it took me to get my ankle broke in order for them to get accessible doors.
Okay, I think I remember when you had the cast on for that.
Yeah, so I opened the door for a lot of people.
Okay.
And I didn't mind that pain long as they got in that building what they needed. Well, who would build a great big old 10-story building with a concrete ramp with no accessible doors?
Okay. My first protest with ADAPT that was outside of Chicago was in Nashville. And, we were at the Operaland, and we were protesting about home care services and the people who actually were protesting about over-the-road buses, now that I remember. And the American Transit Association, or whatever it was called, they had a conference. It was a national conference of bus owners and companies. And we were at the gates of Operaland, and we decided we were going to get inside the hotel where their conference was. And there was a wheelchair charge down a road because the gate was like, I would say, a quarter mile from the hotel.
Okay.
And the guards were trying to stop people, and everybody was zigzagging in and out, and it was hilarious to watch.
Yeah,
And they got inside, of course. ADAPT always manages to
they
do
will
that.
always do somehow, some way.
Yep. Curtis, have you been involved with some of those charges? Tried to get into a building?
Yes, many times.
Many times, yep. Now, you said we protested Ronner. What is the status for services in Illinois?
The state of Illinois is facing a budget deficit,
Okay,
and the legislation session ends this Saturday.
okay. And there's some other issues ADAPT's interested in too. Is physician-assisted suicide one of them?
We are opposing it.
Yeah.
And we should.
We should.
But Access Living is against it.
Okay, and that is because?
People with disabilities deserve to live and have quality lives.
And sometimes there's pressures on them because sometimes people say they're a burden. Is that right?
Yes.
And that's not right,
No,
right?
it's not right. And then people who are terminally ill or palliative care or hospice care should have the right to live. If they want to die peacefully, go ahead.
Yeah. I want to get into a little bit about the protests that you were at most recently, because Trump's threat to Medicaid is by far, I think, the worst threat that we've seen, maybe, although there have been threats all through the years, right? People are always trying to cut Medicaid. And it's essential health care for about 80 million people in the U.S. Now, Curtis, can you tell me when you were in D.C., what dates?
May 10th to 15th.
And what did you do? Can you tell me what happened each day?
On May 11th, we had Mother's Day rally at Upper Senate Park,
Okay.
protesting the Medicaid cuts. A lot
Okay.
of people said we were not going to go back to the time where we had to go to institutions to get services.
Okay. And the next day?
We went to the National Government Association where they had a meeting.
And are
We
the
heard our government of each state to oppose Medicaid cuts.
okay. Yeah, because the states and the federal government both share the cost of Medicaid, right? Although the federal part's the bigger part.
Yes.
Okay, and what happened after that day?
We went to the House Commons and Means meeting here in the Rayborn building.
Okay, and that hearing, did people speak up?
They got arrested.
Oh, when they tried to speak up or tried to get in or
They
what?
tried to get in.
Okay, and how many were arrested?
26.
26 people. And was there any news coverage on that?
Lots of news coverage. CNN covered it, MSNBC, and Fox News.
Okay, and the message is no cuts to Medicaid,
Yes.
right? Okay.
We don't want cuts to go Medicaid, SNAP, which stands for Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program.
Yeah, that's right.
Social Security and Affordable Supportive Housing,
Uh-huh.
which I'm under.
Okay, you use supported housing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's really important because the rents are too high in Chicago, aren't they?
Yes.
Now, what happened the day after that?
Went to the House building where House Speaker Mike Johnson has an office, and we demonstrated outside his office.
Okay, was anybody arrested that day?
Nope.
Nope.
Instead of us chanting, doing lethal obedience, we share our stories.
Kevin, what did you do on some of those days? Were you arrested?
Well, I would have been arrested had I been in that area.
Right.
But just so happened, me and Curtis we went left when we should have been right.
Oh,
And before we know it, all hell broke loose. Adapt from different states was only Republicans.
yeah.
And then the Capitol Police stepped in, blocked me and Curtis off, and the rest of us, it could have been maybe 100 of us or more.
Right.
But they arrested 26 people.
Okay.
And Curtis' main thing was, I wanted to get arrested too.
Didn't
But
happen.
that's what we do. That's what ADAPT is
Yeah,
about.
ADAPT is the, I would say, the militant arm of the disability rights movement.
Yes, I agree. I've been an adapter since 2006, and I've seen a lot and done a lot of it on many actions. And I know, Curtis, that you have too. And I know that very first action, you're hooked. You're going to want to make every last one of them that you can.
Yeah.
Because you're fighting for, your civil rights,
You're fighting for your civil rights. You're fighting for your life.
for our lives. And we need to protect that, protect our Medicaid and our Social Security. Because we don't do it, it'll just be ripped away from us by these Republicans. It's just wrong.
They keep trying to cut Medicaid.
It's wrong.
And the Democrats don't always defend it very well either.
That's why America got to adapt.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we come in.
They're the ones that can defend
And
it.
see, I've heard now we're overseas, and we're not just here in the States now. I heard we're over in Ireland and Australia now.
Yeah, there's activists that do civil disobedience in Korea and Japan as well, I know.
Well, that I didn't know.
Uh-huh.
But that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Adapt is powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And when we're talking to people here today, do you think people should consider becoming more active?
Oh, yeah. Protect our
Protect
civil
your
rights. Your civil rights mean a lot. Without my Medicaid and Medicare, I'd be in a lot of trouble. Me personally, because I'm fighting cancer, and I'm fighting right now my housing.
Yeah, you're trying to keep your
I'm
housing.
trying to keep my affordable housing, and it's rough. But if it wasn't rough, everyone on this planet would have it. So I got to fight in me. I'm going to fight for my civil rights and for my home.
Yeah, that's right. I have my own personal story. We were trying to get Darren LaHood to vote against the cuts. He's a Republican that represents Peoria, Bloomington, and Normal, and all the way up to Rockford. And we had 200 people protest in Normal at his office.
I was there.
Yeah, you were there. And we were trying to say, there's a lot of people in his district that need and use Medicaid. So he's fighting to cut people in his own district off of health care.
It's wrong.
Yeah, and then after that protest, 200 people, we got a lot of coverage in central Illinois, but we wanted to keep the pressure on him. So we went to Rockford just before the vote. The House did vote to cut Medicaid now. So we're still fighting, right? The Senate has to take it up. But in Rockford, there were about 45 of us. And we were at his office, which happened to be in a building with insurance company and some other businesses, and they wouldn't. There was security at the door. They wouldn't let us in. They wouldn't come down and talk to us. So we kind of were blocking the door. And there were a number of us there who used wheelchairs, and there were some of us who didn't. And the building people complained, and at first there was some city cops, but then the whole county sheriff's department descended on us. We had like 10 cars from this is the, what county is it? It's Hiawatha County, I believe. Anyway, it's a county out in western Illinois near where Rockford is. And they tried to intimidate us. They tried to get us to leave. They told people that they were going to get arrested. I would say out of the 45, all but about 10 stepped back off of the private property. But the rest of us stayed at the door. And they, at one point, got a little bit rough, and they grabbed me and threw me in the handcuffs. And then, they picked on the people who could walk because they can never figure out how to arrest a person in a wheelchair.
You can't move people in wheelchairs.
You can't move them. They can't handcuff them well. They don't know how to get them to the station. And so then I think they thought that arresting me would make everybody give up and go away. But no, that doesn't happen with ADAPT, does it?
No,
we don't give up.
We fight. We don't never give up.
We fight. We
never
fight.
give up.
So anyway, then after they arrested me, they arrested another person, I think trying to do more intimidation. That didn't move the folks with the wheelchairs at all. They stayed right there at the door. And we did get some news coverage there with the TV station from Rockford. But, Darren LaHood is one of those MAGA people. The whole Republican, all except for 2 Republicans, voted to cut Medicaid.
Wow.
And a lot of them are going to lose their jobs, I think, because we can't have that. Now, what can we, Curtis, I know you've been a chairperson with the Chicago ADAPT, right?
I was.
You were, yeah, more than once?
Twice.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about how Chicago ADAPT works?
We have our monthly meetings, and then we do several things like fundraising.
Mm-hmm.
We go national actions, local actions.
Mm-hmm. And how are decisions made?
It's made by the officers first, and then the whole chapter votes on whether we're going to do this or that.
Yeah, so it's very democratic the way it's run.
Yes.
Okay. And how many people do you think are aligned with ADAPT?
Members?
Yes, members.
We got about maybe 8, 9 members right now.
Oh, I think it's more than that.
No, it's more than that because I'm the new membership coordinator. I've already recruited 8 new people within the last few months.
Yeah. Not everybody attends meetings, but I think there's like 25 or so, right?
Well, it's about like, it's about, no. It's about like 21, 22.
Okay. Yeah.
So we are growing again back.
That's good. We lost some really good people during the COVID. We lost some really
good people.
Yeah.
And I know before COVID, and actually then we were 47 strong.
Yeah, that's right.
47.
Yeah, and some people fell away, but some people died.
Yes.
Some
good soldiers.
Some good soldiers, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know one thing. ADAPT is powerful, and we have an old saying. How do you spell power? ADAPT.
Yep.
That's ADAPT. Mm-hmm. And another thing about ADAPT, we're not afraid to step up to fight for our civil rights. A lot of us failed during COVID, but by me being a new membership coordinator, I'm getting some new members.
That's wonderful to hear.
Yeah. We building up
Going to be a
Chicago
force
chapter
again, right?
Strong again.
Yeah, because I can remember times when there used to be 35 people come to the meetings or something.
Right.
And
35 to 40 people.
Mm-hmm.
And going national, it'd be more than that.
Yeah, we'd have.
Wow.
Yeah.
The answer was, like I said, you go to one, you're going to be hooked.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of accidents going on. That's why down here in the city of Chicago, or in the state of Illinois, them actions turned into protests to fight for our civil rights.
Yeah, why is it you think people with disabilities are so discriminated against?
Because we're always left out.
Yeah,
We're the last ones that society think about. Like on a totem pole, we're up underneath the totem pole. That's just wrong. I mean,
yeah,
we human too. You know?
it's almost like people are invisible sometimes,
Yeah,
right?
when we get cut, we bleed the same red blood as
Anybody else?
the non-correct.
Okay. And what do you think the way to adapt is? Are they making a difference in addressing the way people think about disability?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Can people with disabilities be powerful?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Because that galvanizes the entire disability rights movement.
Mm-hmm. And individuals can be powerful, but when you're organized and united, what happens?
Becomes greater in number.
Greater, stronger with numbers.
Stronger.
Okay. Now, what do you think is going to happen next? Do you think these Medicaid cuts are going to happen?
I hope not.
Yeah.
We're going to fight like hell.
Okay.
We fighting. And it'd be good if people that's watching this to fight back too by calling your senators and your legislators in your state, Congress.
Yeah. The Senate is considering it now, and they will probably vote a different version than the House, and then they do what they call reconciliation. They have to vote. They have to pass exactly the same language in both places. Right. So this is going to come up for a vote again in the House at some point. So we need to keep the pressure on the House and the Senate. And I think our senators in Illinois are likely to oppose the cuts, whether that, unfortunately the Republicans have a majority in the Senate too. One thing that is interesting is we know that Trump has always been a big liar, right?
Oh, yeah.
And why people fall for his lies, I don't know. But during the campaign, he said he wasn't going to cut Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. And this new bill doesn't only cut Medicaid, it cuts Medicare by, I think, $500 billion too.
I tell you, I know one thing. I'm trying to encourage everyone the new members of ADAPT to stay focused on our housing situation, also on our Medicaid and Medicare, and our Social Security. Can't forget that.
Right. Yeah, you've got to have an income to live on. I think that these cuts are, they're trying to get $5 billion to the billionaires with this bill.
Yeah.
And, the Medicaid cuts are like anywhere, different people have said different numbers, but between $600 and $800 billion. That's a lot of money. And that's a lot of care that's being cut. And then, as you mentioned, they're cutting SNAP. And they're also cutting Medicare. And so there's all these...
they want to try and mess with Social Security.
Yeah, they might. That'll be next on the agenda. So we need people to be aware that this is coming. And I've read some estimates where they think that people with disabilities or people who are quite poor, if they lose their benefits, are likely to cost about I can't get it out. The value of about $700 a month, and people are already just barely making it, right?
Really, I mean, barely making a butt. As long as you got that fight in you, you're gonna come out on top. Consistency. That's the key.
Is to keep fighting, keep the pressure on.
Consistency, right? And I say, before December, I should have at least a good 20 to 25 new members in ADAPT.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping more than that.
Yeah, so well, we keep working at it. Yeah, what would you advise to people, Curtis?
Get out there and fight, get out to vote.
Get out and vote, that's a good
We got
one.
midterm elections coming next year,
In what year?
2026.
Okay. And what do you think people need to know about that? They should look at how their record is?
Yes, both aisles of the party.
Okay.
Educate yourself, because see, I'm also the Rev Up
Yes.
volunteer recruiting with the cost American Association for People with Disabilities
Yeah.
and the Golden Coalition of the Arc of Illinois.
And what's the goal of Rev Up?
Register as many people with disabilities to vote as possible.
Yeah, do people with disabilities vote in high percentages?
No.
No, and that needs to change, right?
Yes.
And then we also need people that are more aggressive than that, right?
Yes.
Okay. And what else can people do? Anything that you think is important?
Advocate, fight for your civil rights, fight for your,
Talk to their families?
yes, and friends.
And friends, yeah. Okay. I think we've covered a lot of ground here today. Is there any closing remarks that you want to make, Kevin?
Yeah, well, not only protecting that Medicaid and Medicare, fair housing, accessible, affordable housing. Everyone that can see this show needs to get on the bandwagon and join in on getting fair housing, affordable, accessible housing.
I know when I was doing some casework, people with disabilities, I remember people living in damp basements, that were stinky and awful. I had one person who was living in a garage. That was where they were living. Could have just well been homeless, right? Basically homeless. And then I also had people who used wheelchairs that were on third and fourth floor of buildings without elevators.
Wow.
So people are so desperate for affordable, accessible housing. And
That we need more of, a lot more of.
Yeah. And what other issues do you think are important, Curtis? You have any final remarks to take?
Yes. Yes, we need to recruit new people to join the disability rights movement.
That's a good one.
And Kevin's doing a great job of that.
Yes, good to hear.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. This has been the ADAPT Productions show about ADAPT, our parent organization. We often cover a variety of issues on the show, but at this point in time, the activism is so essential for the well-being of the disability community. And if you identify as a person with a disability, you have a lot at stake. Healthcare should be a human right. I'm a supporter of a universal Medicare for all healthcare, where everyone was in, nobody is out, everybody gets the healthcare that's medically necessary, and that you get rid of the insurance companies, because the insurance companies are there to make a profit. They're not there to provide healthcare. And that's why the denial rates for care are so high with insurance companies. That's how they increase their profit rates. So we have a lot of things that need to be addressed. Right now, preserving Medicaid is the most at the top of the list. And thank you for joining us today. I hope that our message reaches a lot of people, and keep telling people what your needs are and how they can help. And that means addressing political issues and talking to your representatives. Some of them listen better than others, but put pressure on them. It isn't enough just to be nice sometimes. Thank you for your time, and be well and be active. Thank you.